What's going on, everybody? It is the one and only Who Dat Davis here for you. And if you don't know, you will know that over here we bleed black and gold until red and cold. And I appreciate everybody tuning in and checking out yours truly on the State of Black and Gold halftime show between the New Orleans Saints and the Chicago Bears. The Saints are leading 7-3 at the halftime, and I got so much to say it's not even funny. First of all, what the hell is going on with our Saints interior? Andrus Peat, what are you doing? Cesar Ruiz, what are you doing? Why are you two allowing these stunts to happen on the inside? Andrus Peat, why are you giving up a hole so big you can fit an entire military convoy through that motherfucker? Why? That was one of the biggest concerns for the Saints offense. Y'all have everything y'all can ask for. You have Michael Thomas back. You have Alvin Kamara back. You have Deontay Harris back, who has been pretty much your only bright spot in terms of the passing game. Outside of Michael Thomas's only touchdown reception for 11 yards, Deontay Harris is the entire Saints offense's first half. The defense is playing absolutely spectacular. I can't knock on them. On some drives, they bend, but they don't break. They only gave up 3 points. You can't ask for a better performance out of your Saints defense, who has been struggling through the past 3 years in terms of stopping the opponents. But in this time, it's the Saints offense that can't get anything done. Why is the interior of the Saints offensive line biting on the stunts? Why are they not defending? Why are they not defending their gaps? This is gap responsibility. This is supposed to be fundamental football for the New Orleans Saints. They've been down this road 3 times already. Especially Andrus Peat. I can give Cesar Ruiz a little bit of pardon, but I'm not giving Andrus Peat any sort of break whatsoever. Andrus Peat, you ought to be yourself. You ought to be absolutely ashamed of yourself. You are making my words look bad. I am eating crow. I have been defending you throughout the entirety of the regular season. And this is how you thank me? By playing so garbage-like? You're letting Robert Quinn beat you snap after snap. Drew Brees can't get through his reads fast enough because you're trying to go after him, but you're not defending the interior. Cesar Ruiz is at least going back-to-back on stats with Akiem Hicks, but you're not doing anything. You're holding this offensive production back. If not for Deontay Harris keeping ahead of the sticks and chewing clock out, this game could be in the hands of Chicago, right? This is the game the Saints have to win. Andrus Peat, do you not understand what's here? This is going to be Drew Brees' potentially last season. I'll be damned if the Saints front office keeps this man on the roster, contract extension or not. If he keeps playing like this, Andrus Peat is going to get Drew Brees killed. Andrus Peat is going to send his office to the sunset with an L to Mitchell Trubisky in a Chicago defense that is now without their starting safety and Carson. They are already out their starting linebacker and Roquan Smith. Teron Armstead and Ryan Ramczyk are doing everything they possibly can and then some to keep Robert Quinn and Khalil Mack at bay. But Andrus Peat is giving up the interior. Why? It makes absolutely no sense to me. Now, as far as Drew Brees goes, nothing to say, man. He may be looking a little sloppy right now, but that's just Andrus Peat can't defend a nosebleed. He can't get through his reads. The Bears are doing good. I have to give them credit where it's due. They're playing a lot of zone coverage. They're giving a lot of different looks. They're doubling Michael Thomas. They're doubling Jared Cook because he knows Drew Brees likes to go to his tight ends on key situations. I can't take that away from them. But Deontay Harris being the only sole guy on your passing attack getting production, that makes absolutely no sense to me. And Andrus Peat is the sole blame. I'm sorry, not the sole blame. He is primarily the blame. He is 90% of the blame. The other, I got to get to Cesar Ruiz. The interior has to do better. Sean Payton needs to make the correct adjustments. Defense, keep doing what you're doing. You're giving Mitchell Trubisky and this Bears offense more than they can handle. Just keep holding on to this offense. Finally, get itself together. This is not Saints football. This is not what Saints fans expected when we heard that Michael Thomas and Alvin Kamara and Deontay Harris were all coming back. There is too much at stake, Andrews Pete. And if the Saints lose, I'm almost certain that you are going to be the one looked at to be cut or traded. This is absolutely appalling from you. That big contract extension, and you're doing this in the postseason. Those gaps are absolutely unexcusable. You've been here 3 times already. 3 times. That doesn't make any sense to me. Some of these comments. Shout out to everybody. I apologize for that little rant. It says it makes absolutely no sense whatsoever how and why the interior of the Saints offensive line year in and year out looks completely and entirely suspect in the postseason. It makes absolutely no sense. Shouts out to Akuna Matata. Hey, I watched The Lion King earlier today with a couple friends of mine on Discord. So shouts out to Akuna Matata. Defensive game. Bears got D2. Yeah, look, I'm not taking anything away from the Chicago Bears. They're doing everything right in terms of zone coverage, doubling Michael Thomas, and they are doubling Jared Cook. As you've seen on that near interception for Drew Brees, double Jared Cook on that key situation because they know that Jared Cook is going to be that number 1 or number 2 read on a key third downs. So shouts out to the Chicago Bears with good defense. But this is the Saints defense, the Saints offense can be a lot better than what they are. I hope Sean Payton is sticking it to this interior. I hope he's sticking it to these guards. Like I said, Cecil Louis can get a little bit of pardon, but I am absolutely not letting Andrews Pete get away with doing. Absolutely not. Either he shapes up or offense needs to look at trading him. Tara, this is what off. Shout out to Tara, man. Tara's always here, but I absolutely agree with you, man. I absolutely agree with you because think about it. If they were to do this against even worse competition, let's say like Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Or the Green Bay Packers. At least with the Bears offense, the Saints have a chance to extend the lead. If they have this type of performance against the likes of Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, maybe even Jared Goff, they are going to be bounced out of the playoffs. And it's going to be because of Andrews freaking Pete. Shout out to Jerry Poor, man. Jerry Poor says, at least they're not letting the Bears get away. Absolutely. Look, shout out to the Saints defense. They're doing everything and then some to keep the Saints in this game. They have bent, but they haven't broken. They've only given up 3 points. That's grade A performance out of this. They haven't gotten any sacks yet. Right? I expect 1 or 2 to come from Cam Jordan and Carl Granderson. Maybe even David Onyemata. Jermaine says, what's the problem? The problem is the Saints offensive line giving up the interior on stunts to like to the Robert Quinn. And it makes absolutely no sense. Why is Andrews Pete trying to follow the man outside? He needs to defend the inside. He should know that by now. And the Bears defensive line is making Andrews Pete look like. Jerry Poor says, we're up 7-3. Relax. No, I'm not going to relax. Playing better than this. I'm not giving Andrews Pete any type of pardon. I keep it real over here, just like TJ Jones keeps it real over the State of Saints podcast. The Saints should be up at least by 2 possessions. If the interior doesn't shape up, this game can get away from them. And I hope Sean Payton is making sure Andrews Pete gets that through his head. RJ Miss says, yeah, why is we struggling? Why is we struggling, bro? I have no idea why we're struggling. It makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever, man. I hope they get it together. I really do. Tramal says Payton is not a genius, but we're supposed to trust the Payton. Look, I trust Sean Payton. I think he's been calling have been the right calls, but it's execution. It all comes down to execution for the Saints offense. The standards of where these standards to where I'm holding the Saints offense is high. It's absolutely high. And interior has to play better. Vanity World says they're playing way too weak. I do believe they're playing way too weak. I mean, it's just I don't mean they got to play better. Otherwise, the Bears are going to come out. They're going to make the adjustments they need to make, and this game is going to get away from the Saints, and they only have themselves to blame. I'm not giving the Saints any excuses if they lose this game. They are 9-point favorites. They're supposed to win this game, at least by a comfortable 10 points, in my opinion. Akuna Matata says, I say stop taking Brees off the field for Taysom. Let Brees get into a rhythm. I agree. I agree. Let Taysom Hill do what he does on the tight end / receiver positions. This is too important of a game now for Taysom Hill to get any kind of snaps, unless it's a obvious like power run. If you're not running the ball with Taysom Hill, don't put him back there. There's too much riding at stake. So I do agree with you, Akuna Matata. Jermaine says, "Man, they're letting the Bears hang around." It just makes it just makes no sense to me. Jerry Poor says that's why the second half is better. I do hope the Saints offense gets it together in the second half. The Saints are normally a second half team, so let's hope they make the necessary corrections. They'll read a couple more of these and get out of here and enjoy the second half, guys. Who that for life says Pete got to go. I definitely believe Pete's got to go at this point. I throw James Hurst in there if I was Sean Payton. The offensive line looked a lot better with Hurst playing as guard. That's just me, though. Benny says the Taysom play would have been very nice because Harris is wide open, but the O-line can't hold blocks. I agree. But that's it. That's all for right now, guys. Second half is getting ready to start. Enjoy the second half. Like I said, I will be back later on this evening for the post-game show for the Bears and the Saints. And as always, we bleed black and gold until we are dead and cold. I'll holler at y'all later. Deuces.